You are accidentally sent back in time to 1986 and are trying to convince scientists that you are from 2021. What totally true fact could you tell them about your time would make them think you were insane? There's only 8 planets now. And don't explain why. Or just tell them the truth in a weird tone. Let's just say Pluto isn't exactly a planet anymore. Tell them it's because of deep core plutonium mining. How else would we get the 1.21 GW to travel back in time? So 2 of the biggest comedians are Bill Cosby and Eddie Murphy. One make a bunch of family-friendly movies and the other goes to jail for sexual assault. Go ahead guys. Guess which is which. Oh my god, that is eye-opening. Found the guy who is actually from 1986. Yeah, if you'd asked me that in the 80s I would definitely have guessed wrong. Therese photos from around then of Eddie Murphy eating dinner off a naked model. He was an angel compared to the stories with Charlie Murphy and Rick James. Charlie Murphy. Duck yo couch. The Queen's still alive. I'm watching The Crown and Mountbatten keeps telling Charles when you'll be king. Prince Charles must be TBE most patient man alive. The Queen may outlive him at this point. Queen laughs in immortality. That we can make money for filming ourselves play games. And by games, I mean with our genitals. Well, I mean you're not wrong. It is all on the same site. The video game industry will earn more than twice what the music and film industries will earn combined. The US cardboard box industry will earn nearly more than all the professional sports teams in North America, MLB, NFL, NBA, NHL, UFC, PGA, USTA, including their associated legal gambling associated revenues, combined. Edit, as some people have pointed out, it might not convince scientists that you are from 2021, because the ubiquitousness of cardboard boxes might guarantee that this fact was always true, a timeless economics truth. I just listed the fact that pointed out that forget video games, music or film or sports industries. The most revenue is generated by the least sexy thing you can think of. The Simpsons really undersold the excitement of that box factory. You know those little cartoon vignettes on the Tracy Ullman show? Yeah, they're still making them, prime time. We can carry terabytes of data around in our pocket and transfer it wirelessly at gigabit speeds. Cars don't fly. I hope they never do. That's just what the skies above our cities need, endless streams of noisy drones. Same thing with drone delivery, they had better just be little bots that drive around, or life is going to start to suck. Worse yet, endless streams of noisy drones with ducking idiots flying them around. Yeah. My assumption is that they'd all be autopilot only and that you'd have computer controls. It would still totally suck. Neighbors taking off and landing all the time. Even out in the woods, you'd have people zooming around in the air. Computers eventually reach the point where we have to prove that we're not robots in order to use them. I don't trust you. What does this say? Hello? It definitely says pineapple. 403. Why would I want to make them think I'm insane? The last place I want to be is in a 1986 insane asylum. Don't play lawyer ball, Bobby. Screw them, I would send myself investment advice. Lieutenant Dan got me invested in some kind of fruit company. So then I got a call from him, saying we don't have to worry about money no more. And I said, that's good. One less thing. You can legally walk into a bank with a mask on. You can legally walk into the bank with a mask on to get money to legally buy weed next door. Who was the last Republican governor of California? Arnold Schwarzenegger. Arnold Schwarzenegger? The actor? Edit, Ru-oosh on those missing the Back to the Future reference. And who's the deputy governor? Steven Seagal? About Steven Seagal. And Therese no more USSR. My book was charging, so I had to read on my phone. The Treasury Department was going to replace Alexander Hamilton on the $10 bill, but then there was a massively popular rap musical about him and they decided not to. Edit, truthfully, that sounds pretty crazy even today. Edit, I should point out that these are two entirely unrelated crazy things that would get me locked up in 1986. I thought it was Andrew Jackson getting replaced by Harriet on the $20? Yup. Originally it was going to be Hamilton, but they changed it to Jackson because Hamilton is now everyone's BFF and Jackson was kind of an asshole. Kind of an asshole is an interesting way to refer to the guy who did the Trail of Tears. Queen Elizabeth II still reigns in 2021. Also, Princess Di. Never mind. Hashtag spoilers. Princess Diana is the Queen? Nice bodacious. Edit, 80s slang. Insert spoiler bummer. Pretty sure you already got there with I'm a time traveler from 35 years in the future. I can't remember where I heard this joke, but someone once pointed out the premise of this question is very silly. If you had a time machine, what technology would be amazing to the people of the past? I mean, the time machine. The time machine would be shocking. Nah, time machines have been part of sci-fi since the 1800s. People expect us to have time machines in the future. Watching Pornhub on your smart refrigerator? That would have sounded batshit insane. Your math teachers are all lying to you. You will absolutely always have a calculator in your pocket. But it'll also be a computer with infinite knowledge available to you wherever you are, so you'll never have to go to a library again to write a paper. And you'll never write a paper again, because your teacher wants it all in digital form. I'm exhausted just typing that. I think I would die if I had to physically handwrite all my 5 to 10 page essays. Apparently my mother started a small business in elementary school where she would charge people to type out their papers for them since no one else knew how to type. I'm not that old and I had to handwrite everything through high school and still did it in college out of habit sometimes. Or, maybe I am that old. Duck. The O.J. Simpson trial. In 1985, O.J. was inducted into the Hall of Fame. He and Nicole had their first child together that same year. It would be hard for anyone to believe that by 95, O.J. would be charged with the brutal murders of Nicole and her friend only to be acquitted after a 252-day trial. It would be even harder to believe that in 2021, the majority of the us would believe O.J. committed the murders despite the not guilty verdict in criminal court, guilty in civil court. To someone living in 1986, that whole case would come as a total shock. The shocking fact would not be that O.J. was acquitted in criminal court. It would be the fact that Nicole Brown and Ron Goldman were murdered and that O.J., whether you believe in his innocence or not, would be charged with the murders. It's not surprising now, because we know what happened. In 1986, there weren't even public allegations of abuse. The general population would have never guessed any of this would happen. I mean, a book called If I Did It, in which Simpson outlines that no, I didn't murder Nicole and her friend, but if I did, here is exactly how I would do it, probably helped on that front. Might as well have stood in the court and when asked, did you commit the murders? He replies no. Before theatrically winking to the jury. MTV will no longer play music videos and instead play reality shows that no one asked for. Thanks for my first award. That Tila Tequila woman was when I knew I couldn't watch MTV anymore. Just Googled her to see where she's at these days and this was the first headline that popped up. Tila Tequila, Tornado Tien, has started a GoFundMe to record a gospel album. I'm stunned lol. Yo dog, you better check out them O-rings. They're totes gonna fail in cold weather and make big boom. Someone did warn NASA the O-rings would fail. They were ignored. They really wanted to get that teacher into space. It was her or Big Bird. Can you imagine how traumatized our generation would have been if Big Bird died in the Challenger explosion? Well, we're not getting out of this one, Bird. The cell phones are more powerful than all of theirs computers. My wristwatch is a supercomputer. Proceeds to show off what your watch can do. Stares at your watch in panic as you realize not only is the only Bluetooth named Harold, your charger is back in 2021. Nice brick you got there. Also, with no cell signal Wi-Fi, it's gonna be hard to do much with it. The touch screen alone would be extremely impressive regardless of any connectivity. The fact it's a 256 GB HD in it. Also, if I'm going back, I'll download Wiki first. It's only 12 GB. What? By wiki, do you mean Wikipedia? Their entire library, compressed with 7-zip, is 100 GB. Raw, uncompressed Wikipedia is 10 TB. They didn't have enough storage in the entire world back in 1986 to store Wikipedia lol. Nowadays we can buy a single 10 TB HDD. Even 20 TB HDDs exist if I'm not wrong. But magnetic tapes are more efficient.